Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name's Taran. If you haven't been here before, welcome. If you like the content, do consider subscribing and giving us a big thumbs up. Helps it get out to many more people. In this video, I'm going to be doing a cold smoker setup. Without further ado, let's get into it. Generating smoke that's cool enough to use for cold smoking can be a little bit of a challenge. You may not want to spend loads of money on a smoke generator in order to achieve that. There are a few different methods one can adopt to generate sufficient smoke without all that unwanted heat, so you can cold smoke food successfully. The obvious problem staring us in the face is that it takes heat to make wood smoke in the first place. Well, that is true, but I'm going to show you a few methods you can use to ensure the smoke going into your cold smoker is cool enough so it doesn't ruin the food that you're trying to smoke. The first and obvious issue to overcome is getting your wood chips to burn consistently in the first place without the need to keep relighting them. Generally, when trying to burn a small quantity of wood chips, there's simply not enough heat buildup around the area of burning to sustain a long, consistent burn, and the surrounding heat just diminishes. To ensure there's sufficient heat to sustain a consistent slow burn, you need to start with a pile of wood chips that, when lit, will hold on to that heat and, in a way, prevent the heat produced through the combustion process escaping. If the heat is allowed to escape too rapidly, the likelihood is the burn will self-extinguish. In order to assist the combustion process, we can make use of the stack effect. This is where, by using a hose or pipe, the hot gases and smoke can travel up through the pipe, taking advantage of the fact that they are buoyant because they are hotter than the outside air, and as such they will cause air to be entrained at the base of the pipe, especially where the base of the pipe is close to the burning wood chips. This setup will help feed the smouldering wood chips with more oxygen, maintaining the combustion process in a similar but more gentle way as fanning the embers of a fire to keep them going. However, unchecked, this method can result in a runaway effect where the smouldering wood chips can have too much oxygen and burst into flames. This clearly has obvious consequences for your cold smoking. In this garden setup, I'm using 4 bricks to raise the combustion process off of the grass. This is simply to prevent any damage to the grass. On top of this, I'm placing my crucible of wood chips. I'm going to light these wood chips with my blowtorch, and you can see they're starting to produce smoke straight away. In order to restrict the flow of warm gases rising up through the pipe, I place a cover over the combustion which has a small opening at its top. In this example, I use a terracotta flower pot upturned with the smoke pipe sitting neatly on top of it. You can see in the film here this method in practice. Unchecked though, the wood chips would flame, which in turn would create too much heat and little or no smoke. The great thing about using this restrictor, the smoke is slowed down in the pipe. This in turn slows down the rate at which air is entrained into the smouldering wood chips and prevents the wood chips from bursting into flames. The other benefit of the restrictor in slowing the smoke on its journey to the smoker is to allow it to naturally cool as it progresses along the pipe. Not so much as to prevent it from being buoyant, but certainly enough to allow you to control the heat going into the cold smoker. If using a flexible, extendable pipe like I am in this example, it's possible to increase the length of the pipe to allow the smoke more time to cool before it enters the base of the cold smoker, giving you a a degree of controllability over the whole temperature issue. And if you have any questions you want to ask me about the process, please do get in touch. You can see here, the draw is so slight, the smoke is even wisping back out the bottom of the pot. In order for the draw to work in the first place, you need smoke to have the ability to leave the cold smoker once it's done its job. Now you can see in my cold smoker, it's very old and it's got lots of gaps between the planks, and the smoke can naturally leave the cold smoker. But if you're using a system which is completely sealed, you may well need to put a vent in the back. You can see here when I lift the pipe from the top of the terracotta flower pot, the smoke still comes through, and that's going straight into the pipe, demonstrating that the draw is in action as we speak. Now, obviously, the amount of wood chips that I'm using in this example is only really going to give you about 30 minutes burn, but the smoke density is phenomenal, so you can get quite a lot of smoking done in a relatively short period of time. But nevertheless, if you wanted to adopt this process, you can scale this to as large a size as you require, using more wood chips, a larger cover, and that will give you an extended burn time. But you are going to need to visit this from time to time to check on its progress until you're happy that you know exactly how your setup's working. And remember safety, folks. If you're going to be using fire in the presence of wood, or certainly a wooden smoker, make sure that you've got a bucket of water on hand just in case the worst happens. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got something from it, do give us a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing, it's totally free, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care, folks. Bye.